The founder and head pastor of Gateway Church, Robert Morris, has officially put in his resignation, and it has been accepted by the church. Now, in today's video, we're actually going to dive into this situation and the darkness that surrounds all of this, as well as we're going to see what the victim had to say about all of this news. Now, with that being said, if you don't know what's going on, here's a quick video update.
Pastor of Gateway Church, Robert Morris, resigned after a woman accused him of sexually assaulting her beginning when she was just 12 years old. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
I'm Steve Eager. The woman says the abuse lasted from 1982 to 1987. The woman's allegations surfaced over the weekend. She says Morris sexually abused her while he and his wife were guests in her family's home in Oklahoma. Morris has said he was involved in an inappropriate sexual behavior in his 20s with what he called, quote, was a young lady, stating there was no intercourse, but it was wrong. No criminal charges have been filed to this point. Morris founded the church in Southlake in 2000. With 100,000 members currently, Gateway is now one of the largest churches in the entire country.
Gateway's Board of Elders accepted Morris's resignation today and released a statement saying they knew Morris had an extramarital affair, but prior to Friday, they did not have all the facts of the inappropriate relationship between Morris and the victim, including her age at the time and the length of the abuse. They went on to say, "We are heartbroken and appalled."
So, as we can see, guys, Robert Morris is officially no longer the head pastor of Gateway Church. The elders are now making this big claim that they did not know the details when this initially came out, that all they knew was that she was a young woman and that he had committed adultery, and this relationship had been going on for 4 years. If a pastor of a church commits adultery and then it gets brought up and it gets exposed, and he then tells you what happened, he kind of tells you some details, the elders need to be knowing all of the details. But the reality is, guys, and the sad reality is, when sin like this comes out, the one thing that people want to do, instead of bringing it to the light, which we should do, they want to hide it. Because it's damaging to the church's name. It's damaging to what their mission and goal is, and that's to grow. And guys, if this actually would have been handled correctly, Gateway Church would never be. Robert Morris would be in jail. Robert Morris would be legally stated as a pedophile. But that's not the case. Churches like to hide sin, when in reality we should be exposing it and then letting the grace of the Lord come about. Now, the victim had this to say with this situation. First, I would like to thank many people who have sent me messages of support during these past few days. Many of these encouraging notes have come from complete strangers. This has given me and my family much strength and hope during this difficult time. I have many mixed thoughts and feelings upon hearing the news of Robert Morris' resignation. Though I am grateful that he is no longer a pastor at Gateway, I am disappointed that the Board of Elders allowed him to resign. He should have been terminated. Guys, she is right on this area. Robert Morris should have been terminated, not been able to resign. Because now this opens the door for Robert to sadly continue in ministry in some form or fashion, when honestly he needs to be put in jail. He needs to be held accountable for these actions that he did, molesting a 12-year-old girl when he was 20 years old. She then goes on and says this: "As I have previously stated, I have been seeking this for years. My family and I have gone to the leaders of very prominent churches and well-known ministries with this information, hoping that someone would hold him accountable and remove him from ministry leadership." Guys, this is very interesting news. She has gone to very well-known prompt pastors and ministers and churches around giving this news to them, and nobody has said a thing. Again, hiding sin because it doesn't benefit the church or the people involved with the church. That's the thought process, and it's a sinful, wicked, evil thought process. She then finally goes on and says this: the leadership at Gateway received actual notice of this crime in 2005 when I sent an email directly to Robert Moore's Gateway email address. Former Gateway elder Tom Lane received and responded to my email acknowledging that my sexual abuse began on December 25th, 1982, when I was 12 years old. Again, in 2007, my then attorney, Genter Drummond, the court attorney general of Oklahoma, sent a letter to Robert Morris with the hope that he would help reimburse me for the thousands of dollars I had expended in counseling as a result of this abuse. His attorney acknowledged the dates as well and then attempted to blame me for the abuse. At the very least, both the Gateway pastor and at least one elder had specific notice that I was sexually abused beginning when I was 12 years old. Gateway had that information, but intentionally decided to embarrass the false narrative Robert Morris wanted them to believe. As we can see here, guys, this has been known. They're making it seem like they didn't know she was 12, they didn't have all the details, but in fact, Robert knew the details, and another elder of the church at that time knew the details. So for them to make this claim that they did not have the details is a blatant lie. This is deceptive and evil. Robert Morris should be put in jail. Robert Morris should take full responsibility legally for his actions. We need to be praying for the victim and be praying that if there are more victims, that they would speak out. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the BTteam Ministry YouTube channel, as well as drop a like and leave a comment down below. I would love to know your thoughts, and if you enjoyed this video, you might like this one over here.